Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagem. Today is my first dragging video in like I think 3 weeks because I went traveling and then I came back traveling. I had like my unboxings and stuff which you can see on my unboxing playlist, and then we were posting about other things on here. But we're back to what we do best, honey. Luxury brands getting dragged. I have a playlist of all of my dragging videos. You guys seem to like these videos. I'm glad you like them because these were things which I was reading even before I was filming like YouTube. I always found it hysterical that people would like go on Google reviews or Yelp and like complain about luxury houses. I don't know why. And so, you know, today you get me like the monogram girl and her wig are being dragged, aka Big LV, the orange stallion, aka Big H, aka the ponytail honey, are being dragged. It's just those two today. So let's get started. Let's start off with Louis Vuitton herself. These dragging tales are from the Royal Exchange Boutique in London, in the city of London, so the financial district of London. So the first review goes as follows. This is from Google Reviews. I was looking to buy a bag for my birthday. This would have been my 10th purchase from Louis Vuitton, the first time in this store. It feels like I've never been treated like this in any luxury store around the world. The French male sales associate had the most arrogant attitude. They don't have the bag I selected online, so I was looking around for other ideas. When you show interest in a bag, they're smiling at you. When you say I might have a think, they suddenly stop talking at all. Sorry. So uncomfortable, can't be bothered, waste of time to argue at all. I left immediately, I won't return. Okay, a few things. First of all, you're looking to buy a bag for your birthday. Okay. I think you should know that you want to buy the bag before going to the boutique, because you're like, oh, I want to buy a bag for my birthday, but oh, I want to think about it. Well, which one is it, girl? Are you buying the bag for your birthday or are you thinking about it? And then this is the thing, like on all of my dragging reviews, there are always people who get angry at me. Don't be angry at me, okay? Go be mad at these brands. The people always get mad at me and say I'm always defending the brand. I can see the business point of view though in a lot of these stories, but when the brand is wrong, I will say. However, in this case, I'm sorry, you said you're looking for a bag for your birthday. But then you're like, oh, I need to think about it, but I still want a bag for my birthday. Well, which one is it? Why would you go to the shop unless you're sure? That said, the person shouldn't be made to feel bad. But I can see why that would be annoying. Like you walk in and say, I would like to buy a bag for my birthday. Any normal SA would assume that you mean that you mean you're purchasing the bag today. And then you're like, oh, but I need to think about it. Well, which one is it? Make a decision on what you're doing. Like that would also annoy me. The next review from the Royal Exchange Louis Vuitton boutique goes as follows. I came into the boutique, I was not greeted, no one even set eyes on me. As I was walking around the store, the security guard told me not to touch any bags. WTF. I was told to sit down and wait. After 10 minutes of waiting, the sales clerk was just standing there on his phone. I realized I was simply not going to get served. I make over £100,000 a year, and I had a few purchases in mind just because I didn't wear anything designer and did not look rich, quote. They simply didn't think I looked good enough to wear their products or even to get served. This really ruined my day. I guess you have to come in wearing a Rolex on your wrist and dripping in designer clothing for anyone to even look at you. Okay, let's chat about a few things here. First of all, yeah, this person makes a lot of money, makes, you know, over £100,000 a year and wanted to buy things, but was ignored according to them, was told to sit down and after 10 minutes was just ignored. I want to kind of give like a tip that I think has worked for me when going to luxury stores, and it doesn't work all the time. Didn't have a great experience at the Swarovski boutique in Santon in Johannesburg. Didn't have a great experience at the Versace boutique, but this did work at Louis Vuitton in the Champs-Elysees. When you're at Louis Vuitton, in my opinion, you need to walk in there and be like, hello, I would like to buy X. Like for example at the Champs-Elysees boutique, like once you finish queuing and you enter, they're like obviously security guards and then they have greeters. This is what happened. This was the setup in January. Obviously when I go back this autumn winter, we'll see the setup because I'll definitely be going there again. As long as that SA is still there, I'll go there. Even if he's not there, I'll go there. and then the greeter will ask you, what are you looking for? They do that to know who's browsing and who wants to buy. I said, hello, I would like to buy X. I really do think that when you walk into these boutiques, you need to say exactly what you are buying, or if you are just browsing. Because she's like, I came into the store, wasn't greeted. So this Louis Vuitton probably doesn't have that setup where there's like a greeter. I have noticed in the French boutiques, their greeters, honey, okay? Because in French luxury stores, boo-boo, they are not playing with you. They want to know, what are you buying right now? What are you doing for me today? So I think in a situation like this, like, you need to, like, she needs to be like, you know, when you walk in, she said she wasn't greeted, no one looked at her. I would just walk up to the closest essay and be like, hello, I would like to buy an Alma. I'd like to buy the Dauphine. Can you show me the Dauphine walk? By the way, there is a Dauphine walk. I've never talked about it. I'm not crazy about it, but show me something from the Dauphine line. That's how I would approach it, okay? And I feel like that is the way to do it, because walking in and expecting them to kind of run up to you, that is not how things go. So I remember, I think it was on the Purse Forum on the New York thread, this was ages ago, someone had said that like one of the boutiques in New York, and I know there've been some changes because they've consolidated the boutiques, but one of the boutiques in New York, like apparently the essays don't approach clients who walk into the store without an appointment. And allegedly in one of these locations, you like they kind of just leave you alone to mill about the boutique and to browse. And this was really interesting reading it on the Purse Forum, because on the Google reviews of one of these stores, God, for the life of me I can't remember, but there's one of them that absolutely gets dragged for this reason, that oh when you walk in they ignore you. So it turns out it's like the essays have made that decision to not approach people who just look like they're browsing, and they only approach you if you're maybe picking something up or whatever. That was the same thing at the Big H Sevres location in January. Like, they don't approach you until you like pick something up or you're really looking at something. Then they come over and say hello to you. But they definitely, honey, they are not approaching you in there, honey. Like, they will just leave you alone and you can go mill about and do whatever you like. So I think it's possible that this client unfortunately had a bad experience. I do empathize with this client. She felt like she was judged based on how she looks. No one wants to feel like that, and that doesn't feel good. But I bet you it was just like, well, like the essay's like, well, why, like, girl, like, why are you here? What do you want? Like, what do you want? And she wanted, which I think is a fair request, like a true luxury experience. I think the true luxury experience in store is done for the majority of the major houses. So big LV, big H, big C, Dior, Gucci, Balenciaga, Versace, Fendi, all of the major luxury houses, and Dior as well, if I haven't said Dior. I feel like all of the major luxury houses don't feel like they really have to try that much anymore, just because there is so much demand for their product. And I feel like there are also a lot of people who browse at these houses. So they kind of feel like, well, is this person just here to browse, or are they here because they genuinely, you know, are looking around? I don't feel like this person was treated fairly. I do agree with this person that I guess you have to come in wearing a Rolex. Yeah, that's not a good feeling. But Royal Exchange is in the financial heart of London, the financial district of London. People are going to be milling about in that particular area of the Royal Exchange. That particular area, people look nice. It's the financial district. It's part of the financial district of London, which is known as the City of London, for those of you who are not from the UK. You know, people are coming from work in suits and look really nice. And, you know, if you go in there and you're just like, you know, in the square mile of London, they're going to be like, go bye. You know, and I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, and I've always said this to you guys, I've always told you, and I always get yelled at in comments, and I don't understand it. These brands judge us for how we look. Like in January, I made so many mistakes while shopping in Paris that I'm not going to repeat when I go back this autumn winter. One of the mistakes I made was I looked way too casual for shopping. Even the day when I went to Versace, I was really casual. And I just realized that like that day they were really judging me based on what I looked like. I didn't look like someone who likes Versace, who wants to wear Versace, but obviously you've seen my Versace unboxing since then, and clearly I like the brand and I really love the brand. But I hate to say it, when you go to the boutique, unless you have an SA who is there already and who knows you, unless you are known to the store, you're going to be judged on how you look. I don't want anyone don't start telling me in the comments, I walked in wearing my knickers, I walked in naked into the boutique, they didn't judge me. If you're known to the location, you can dress how you want because they already know this person's about her money. If you are not known to the location, you are going to be treated worse if you're not dressed as nicely. It is what it is. Don't fight me. You all know it's true. We all know it's true. I'd love to know what you guys think about those ones. The first one to me is kind of a draw, but this one I'm on the side of the client before you guys start having a moan and having a go at me. It's not a good feeling to be judged on how you're dressed. And I remember in the Avenue Montaigne Versace, it was like the same thing. I remember just thinking, what's your problem? But then I'm like, girl, bye. You do not own this brand. Now, let's move on to the orange stallion herself, Big H. The dragging stories today are coming from one boutique only, the Palo Alto boutique in California in the United States of America. Without further ado, here we go. This is way too much. We visited the Big H store at Palo Alto yesterday and our experience was disappointing to say the least. This is from Yelp, by the way. These are all recent. Our SA, they name her, won't say the SA's name, treated us with a lack of courtesy or professionalism. SA's name was at times simply rude and didn't answer our questions. We felt like she didn't want to help us. We had visited and shopped at Big H in the past, but this time it was a disappointment. Furthermore, some of the items that we saw inside, the glass display case had strands of long hair on the product. When I told SA's name about it, she replied with a simple smile and with nothing more. Nevertheless, we expected better from services such as from a brand such as Big H. Well, first of all, I'm sorry, guys. Are you a client or are you here to inspect things? What are you doing? Going up to the display cases looking to see, do you know how hard you have to look into the display case to see like a strand of hair on like a wallet or a bag? Like, no, you are bang out of order. This person is annoying and this person isn't telling the full story of their experience. So the SA's person, because the person names the SA, and I don't feel like it's fair to name the SAs because they can't defend themselves and we don't know like their experience. But when I told the SA's name about it, she replied with a simple smile and nothing more. Well, of course she did, because she's trying to keep her composure so she doesn't get in trouble at work. But she's thinking in her head like, you haven't bought anything, boo-boo, and you're here trying to check me over a strand of hair that you claim you see in a display case. No, sorry. No. I'm with Big H on this. This person's annoying. This client's annoying. And they're probably really annoying and entitled when they're in the boutique. Sorry. The next one from the Palo Alto store. I was going to get my first Big H at this boutique. I knew that I may not be able to get anything since the high demand of the bags. The sales guy named SA's name, again, I'm not naming the SA, made my first time experience with Big H even worse. He did not offer me to sit down. With the rude attitude, tried to kick me out with a quick conversation in the middle of the lobby. Saying no luck to get any of the bags I wanted. Wait time a minimum of a year or longer. Before I left, he asked me if I wanted to buy some jewelry. He did not help me to get what I want, but tried to upsell me jewelry. H, no. Like HELL, no. Okay, first of all, the essay that's named in this review is an essay that is mentioned. I've seen this person's name be mentioned in Facebook groups and be mentioned on the press forum. And my kind of feeling is like, I feel like walking into like any of the Californian locations and asking to buy, frankly, a Birkin, Kelly or Constance at any of the Californian locations, like but you know that big H bags are in demand, but you're walking into the Californian locations and asking to buy one of the 3 Holy Grail handbags. I'm just assuming here it's a quota bag. Let's just assume it's a quota bag. That's pretty delusional. Okay, so, and we all kind of know that, I think I've said this before, we all know that like wait lists and waiting doesn't really exist at Big H. That's just like Big H glyphics and Hermes glyphics, you know, because you know, like Big H essays have their own language and their own code. That's like Hermes glyphics for, you know, we're just not going to offer it to you at this time, because at the end of the day, we all know the Big H game exists. So these are Big H glyphics. You know, the essay telling the person here it's a wait time of a year or longer. I mean, what the essay is saying, you haven't spent anything, boo-boo. So you're not going to get anything today. Show me the money, okay, and then maybe we can talk. And then the essay being like, he asked me if I want to buy some jewelry. Now this is really interesting. This is some really interesting Big H glyphics here. We all know how important fine jewelry is to Big H, and we all know how important fine jewelry and timepieces are to the horse. The essay is kind of trolling her at this point. This is like a troll move. This essay is a troll, like, oh, by the way, do you want to buy jewelry? Because the essay knows you're going to say no. Because you clearly don't know that you don't just walk up into particularly in California, because it's so competitive, and ask to buy any of the 3 like Holy Grail quota bags. We all know that. So the essay is just kind of trolling. But the essay asking the client, does she want to buy jewelry, was also a test, because you know how in the Big H universe, the essays are constantly testing you to see like what you can handle, and that was the test, and you failed the test. The test was, you should have said yes. If you said yes and bought something, maybe you could have salvaged the situation. But this whole point here of being offered to sit down is really interesting. Now, when I read this review, I was thinking, oh, that's interesting that he didn't offer her to sit down or didn't offer a drink. I think it's because perhaps, and I've been thinking about this recently, perhaps some Big H essays find it annoying, like you don't understand the game if you ask for a Birkin, a Kelly or a Constance directly, particularly in a very competitive location. So the Californian locations, like, you know, some of the London boutiques and some of the locations in Europe that are very competitive, like the boutiques in Germany, I feel like they would feel like you don't really get it. Like, you want to buy a Big H bag, but you don't get the culture around Big H. I'm not saying it's right, okay, before you guys start having a moan and a whinge, I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, you walk up in there and presumably you haven't bought anything else, and you straight up ask for a Birkin, Kelly or Constance in a really, really, really competitive boutique in America. I mean, of course, the essay is going to be like, the wait time is a year or longer. Now, I'm reading this review, and the next review is a response to the person who is complaining about this essay not offering them to sit down. I thought it was crazy that another client took it upon themselves to come and defend Big H. I think that is really interesting. So let's kind of go through the response. So this is from another client. This is not a troll. It's not the essay, because it's like someone's legitimate Yelp account with their profile pic and their government name. So it's not like the essay is doing it. Shopping at luxury retailers can be very intimidating, especially when it's your first time and you haven't established a relationship with an essay. Lucky for me, I was randomly matched with essay's name, who is being dragged boo-boo in the previous review. He was kind, patient, and generous with his time, and answered all of my questions without making me feel stupid for asking. I received the best customer service that day, and it has remained the same ever since. I know I don't even come close to the top spenders, but I'm quite certain he treats me the same as he would them. Oh, girl, bye, girl, honey, bye. No, as he does for everyone I've witnessed him interact with. For the other review that complained he didn't offer for them to sit down, my response is he doesn't offer me either. I'm usually sitting before he has a chance to ask me, but even then I wouldn't expect him to. Essay's name. Never pressures me to purchase anything. He's so easygoing. Well, it's a shop. You're going to be purchasing stuff anyway. Even my mum asked me why he's so, quote, cool and chill. I don't buy unless I like, and everything I've purchased I've fallen in love with. Look, guys, I'm honest about my situation. I would like to score like the three holy grail quote bags, Birkin, Kelly, or Constance, whichever one I'm offered in Paris. I'm realistic about the fact that I have to buy bait to build a strong profile. I'm sure I'm gonna like that bait, but the way people talk about, like the way they justify the things that they buy at Big H is just excessive and ridiculous. Like this statement here, and you know, I don't buy unless I like it, and everything I've purchased I've fallen in love with. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. I make an effort to know what I want prior to making an appointment because I would hate to waste his time, especially when he's been so understanding with my schedule. I think that's fair. I tend to make appointments last minute, but he always tries his best to accommodate me. I'm not judged or treated any less than those who are dressed to perfection. I often come after work wearing scrubs, and I'm always greeted with a smile from the other SAs. So this, I think this person works in the healthcare industry. Be kind and respectful to others, brackets, don't be demanding, and you'll receive the courtesy back. I feel like I have to write this review because it's unfair to see some of the negative reviews about SA's name, the male SA. I hope if you or the store manager ever sees this review, you truly know that clients who truly appreciate your excellent customer service. Okay, well, first of all, boo-boo. Okay, he didn't ask you to go up on Yelp with your government name and write that review. Okay, and if you're watching this, shout out to you because I've never had anyone defend me like this. Okay, so I want to kind of chat about this because this is one of the only times I have seen someone write a dragging review and then get a response from another client of the boutique. I think that the SA should invite you to sit down if there are chairs there. If I walk in, I would expect to be invited to sit down, particularly if I've made an appointment, or even if I've just walked in. I do expect you to be like, would you like to have a seat? Yes. I don't think that the first person writing the review is wrong in wanting to be asked to sit down. If their chairs and other clients are sitting down, yes, I would like to sit down as well. And I don't think that is demanding or annoying for someone to request that. I'm sorry. I don't agree with the tone of the previous review of like asking, you know, oh, I'm going to go ask for my first Big H bag at the Palo Alto, California, USA boutique. Well, just simply going on Facebook groups and reading the past forum, you know that's not really how it works. But still, every person who walks into the boutique has a decent expectation of being treated with respect and courtesy. And yes, I would like to sit down. Okay? And yes, I would like you to offer me water or juice or sparkling water. Yes. So the response saying, you know, she's uplifting the SA who's being dragged. And by the way, this SA boo-boo has been dragged in many other reviews. These are all on Yelp. I'm not making them up, okay? The SA saying he's kind, patient, and generous with his time, answer all my questions without making me feel stupid. Well, that's for you. And this is something I don't really understand. Just because it was nice for you doesn't mean it was nice for other people. When I went to the Champs-Elysees, I had a great experience. And I remember going into this other Louis Vuitton group and someone was like, oh, I'm going to Paris. I was like, hey guys, go to the Champs-Elysees, it's so great. And literally people were like, oh my God, like, how did you have a good experience there? Like, it's terrible, they're so mean, they judge you on how you look. If you buy something small, they look at you badly. Someone was like, you know, if you ask for a key pouch, they look at you badly. I was really shocked. I was like, whoa, I'm so sorry that you had a bad experience. I had a good experience, but just because I had a good experience does not mean that those people who had a bad experience at Champs deserve to be belittled or deserve to be kind of dismissed. I was like, whoa, I'm really shocked by that. And it's possible I might go there and have a bad experience. These things happen. And then she's like, I know I don't come close to the top spenders, but I'm quite certain he treats me the same as he would them. Girl, he doesn't, boo-boo. I'm sorry, I just can't. Come on. Big H. I'm sorry. I'm going to be dragged. People are going to come for me in the comments, but I know I don't come close to top spender. I'm quite certain he treats me the same. I don't know about that, honey, because VIP spend in US dollar, at Big H in the US is like is quite high six figures. I'm pretty sure those people are treated very, very well, boo boo, compared to people who, don't spend as much. I don't know about that. For the other review that complained he didn't offer them to sit, my response, he doesn't offer me either. Well, so what? So what? He doesn't offer you to sit. I would like to sit down, and I'd like to be offered something to drink. And now I'm remembering it. At Louis Vuitton Champs-Élysées, SA did offer for me to sit down. Would you like to sit down? Yeah, I would. Thank you. I'd like to sit down. Yes. I've been walking on the Champs-Élysées, walking around. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. SA's name never pressures me to buy anything. He's so easygoing. Okay. But she says here, I make an effort to know what I want prior to making an appointment because I'd hate to waste his time, especially when he's been so understanding of my schedule. However, she understands the game, okay? She understands the game and the way it's played, because here she's saying how she makes an effort to know what she wants to buy. Well, if you make an effort to know what you want to buy, it's not all, it's business, honey. You're not going up, you're not going in there trying to be best friends. I'm not judged or treated any less than those who dress perfection, but that's because you are you're not working at the boutique. You are shopping at the boutique and you have a relationship there. Of course, they're not going to judge you because, for example, here she says that she works in the medical. She says she's wearing scrubs, so presumably she's in the medical / healthcare industry. So, but you're known to the boutique, so the way you dress doesn't really matter. If I was to go there today, I've never shopped there a day in my life. If I walk in there today, yeah, I definitely think I'd be judged on how I look. I think that's fair. Be kind and respectful to others and you receive the same courtesy back. It's unfair to see negative reviews, but you can't. Okay, but this is the thing I don't understand about a lot of these dragging reviews. Whenever people try and defend their local stores from being dragged, because okay, you had a good experience. That doesn't mean other people are going to have a good experience, and that does not mean that you get to kind of dismiss other people's legitimate experiences just because you like your essay and your essay is being dragged, literally being dragged like a medieval jousting situation, honey, on horseback, being dragged. I just kind of feel like some of the people who do this, it's a bit much. You guys think of the person responding directly to the previous person. I am not a fan of trying to dismiss people's experiences, to dismiss people's experiences just because you had a good experience. I found that happens a lot in the luxury community. People dismiss other people's experiences, or I went there and I had a good time, so it's probably something you did. Well, no, maybe the person, the essay didn't offer her to sit down, and maybe for her she wants to be offered to sit down. I do think that shopping at a luxury boutique, particularly one like Big H, shopping at Big H is very laborious and requires a lot of effort and energy, and frankly work. It does feel like work at times. I don't think it's out of the ordinary for someone to want the essay to be like, hello, would you like to sit down? Would you like something to drink? Now, I think with some essays, they do that based on a feeling of if you're spending money or not. If you're spending money, they might be like, oh, let me offer her champagne. Let me offer her this. Let me offer her, really nice sparkling water. But I do think I don't think that the person is wrong in wanting to be offered a seat. However, I think the person was quite delusional and quite green in thinking that they could just walk into the Palo Alto, Big H, California this year and request a coveted Big H bag without knowing the way things work. A simple Google search, you would have found that it's so competitive to shop at that location. I've never been there, and even I know it's super competitive. Just reading about the ratios, reading the amounts that people are spending to compete in that store. So maybe this person could have just spared themselves the stress by just finding that out. And instead, you could go, pick up some fashion jewelry, you could pick up silks, and then you could, start to get to know an essay then put your name down for a wish or whatever. But the person's allowed to make mistakes. We don't know everything when we start. I don't really understand the person responding, defending the essay. You were not there, okay? And you didn't see the way your essay that you love so much was perhaps treating this other client. We don't know. On the one hand, I think that the person was like really delusional going there cold, asking for a back-in or a Kelly, presumably. But on the other hand, I think the person does have a right to a decent expectation to be allowed to sit down. I'm sorry, but I think that we've come to this point now where like luxury shopping has become so much like the Hunger Games. It doesn't feel luxurious anymore. It feels so random and so mundane. It just feels like an everyday kind of thing. When I go to Zara, I don't expect to be offered a seat, or H&M. Well, when I go to Big H, honey, when I go to Big C, Big LV, I would like to be offered a seat. And I don't think that's me being a diva. And if I wrote that review and then you come up on my review, boo-boo, and then you're like, well, he was nice to me and he's so nice to me, he's so this, I'll be like, ah! Let me stop you right there, okay? No one cares about the fact he was nice to you. I'm sharing my experience. The dragging reviews are back. I would love to know what you guys think. Would you like me to look into other brands? I'm trying to look into like Van Cleef & Arpels and Cartier, but they never get dragged, honey, because jewelry brands are not messy and they're not raggedy, okay? The fashion houses, Big LV, Big C, Big H, Gucci, Dior, Balance, they get dragged so hard because they're messy. Okay, so I would love to know what you guys think about all of these stories. What do you think about like people defending Big H, like essays and comments? In reviews. I would love to know what you guys think about this dragging video. Would you like to see more from me in this format? Don't forget you can watch it on my playlist. Look, you guys, okay, if I have a bad experience and your essay is so perfect and amazing, but your essay is mean to me, you're not gonna like minimize my experience because I'm gonna drag you. Okay, that's just my kind of feeling on it. But generally speaking, as with most of these dragging stories, they tend to be a draw. Sometimes I can see the business side, sometimes I can see Sometimes I can see the client side. I'm always being accused of taking Big H's side. I don't take Big H's side with all things. You can see on this one, I'm sorry, I'm not going to defend Big H for not offering a seat to a client, even though the client didn't understand the Big H game and the way things work at Big H. The client has a right and a decent expectation of walking in and being like, hello, Sarah Madam, would you like to sit down? Yeah, that's bang out of order. So I'd love to know what you guys think about everything. Please make sure that you're fully subscribed. Go join the Facebook group. It's so much fun. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok. You know what to do. Everything is linked below. My blog is live. I had posted some new blog articles and stuff, so you can go check it out as well, which is also linked below. I'd love to know what you guys think about everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week in my subsequent videos.